the benefits of the credit life and how members are able to benefit once they acquire a loan or once they join. So it's not a must that when you have credit is when you enjoy the credit life cover. Even members who pass on, though that is not what we wish to for members to go through. But in an event of loss, you're able to enjoy a rider of up to 150,000. We've been able to upgrade the rider from the 50,000 rider that members used to have to 150. So it's a plus, given that we have had Zamara, who is our current underwriter, on board. So members are able to enjoy a higher claim in regards to the rider. So this is basically a claim that is issued to your next of kin in an event of loss. Additionally, if you have a loan and a member is deceased, the SACCO is able to cover the loan so long as the loan is performing. So today we want to discuss the benefits of the credit life, who is eligible, which documents should be shared. Additionally, we have noted that members are not well informed of the in an event of even some diseases that they have, that they're able to even enjoy the credit life, like stroke, cancer. You can be able to share. We'll guide you on the documents that will be required, the analysis that will be done for you to be able to enjoy critical illness, retrenchment. Also, we have the mortgage protection that also covers retrenchment for 9 months. So we'll be discussing into the benefits having a deep delve on it, as well as also engaging with members, getting feedback from members, and also giving proposals on areas to improve, and also giving clarity on areas that are great. So as we mentioned, we have our underwriter is Zamara, who will be taking us through the credit life benefits, and we have Ronald. Just for me to introduce Ronald to take you through the presentation, and will be available to respond to questions that you may have or areas of clarity that you may have. So over to you, Ronald. Karibu sana. Over to you.
It's a great honor. As introduced, my name is Ronald Atuta from Zamara, and today we are privileged to have this session with you, members of Kona SACCO. I believe everyone is able to see my screen. I've been able to share my screen. I believe you're able to see my screen. Great. Thank you very much once again. Today, as Judy has mentioned, it's an opportunity for us to have an engagement with members from Kona SACCO, just to create awareness, emphasis on the benefits you enjoy as long as you are a member of Kona SACCO, so that in case there are benefits you're not aware about today, we'll be able to create such awareness, and you'll be able to benefit from them. As mentioned, this is a member education session, and this is the order of play. Probably someone will be asking who is Zamara. We'll be having a small introduction on who is Zamara and our partnership with Kona SACCO as far as credit life, mortgage assurance, and fire policy are concerned. We're also going to look at the current benefit structure, how it sits for those who have a credit life cover, those who have mortgage, and those who have fire and peril policy. And to add on this, we are going just to look at who is eligible, who qualifies, and then I'll guide you through on the claims process for each, so that once we create this awareness, we are able to enjoy a seamless claims process to ensure that claims are paid within the required TATs, and to ensure that members are aware of what they require as far as claims are concerned. And then lastly, we wind up with the general exclusions that are applicable within the insurance space and are also affecting these contracts. And then we close with a question and answer. But as they mentioned earlier, feel free, in case you have any burning question, you can always chat us in the chat box. Well, who is Zamara? Zamara is an insurance brokerage that has been able to grow its footprint within 7 countries. Recently, we expanded to MENA region with our purpose to create financially secure and prosperous society. And that's why we have been able to partner with Corner Circle to ensure that we are able to provide that financial security and prosper our society. We provide a range of services ranging from actuarial consultant services, pension consulting and administration services, insurance and reinsurance brokerage services, and of course, wealth management and financial planning. We believe in 3 sets of values. We want to make insurance simple to our clients, and we want to underwrite or administer insurance contracts with empathy, and we also want to create trust among our clients. Someone may ask, what is our role? We have quite a number of value adds we bring on board as we partner with Corner Circle. One, we step in as an advisor who is customer centric. We come in to advise you on the best that is in the market. Having been in the market for a couple of years, we come with a rich experience and understanding of the market, and of course, in pricing of the insurance policies, and therefore we are able to provide the best recommendations. Of course, we have a qualified team, of course, behind the scenes, not just me, but we have quite a number of people behind the scenes who provide expert knowledge that is able to help us come up with customized solutions that will fit your needs. We also step in as a negotiator to ensure that we are able to get the best premium rates for you in the market. And so far, with the partnership we enjoy with Corner Circle, we've been able to get the best premium rates within the market. And we do not only stop there when we provide the cover, but we are also there with you to ensure that in case of any claim process, any claim reporting, we are there to guide you on the claim process, to negotiate for you. Even sometimes when there is a borderline claim that requires ex gratia negotiation, we are able to negotiate for you. Zamara also comes in to provide guidance on any required regulatory compliance or documentation that could emerge within the insurance space. And of course, with all this initiative, we've put together very robust resources and systems to ensure that we are able to serve you with utmost efficiency, and of course, that is which is cost effective. And in a summary, that is the role of Zamara. And someone may ask, why should I need insurance? As I mentioned earlier, our vision is to create financial prosperity, financial security and prosperity. Life insurance is very important. As you know, you as a member of Corner Circle, as you go and take a loan, then you realize that life insurance will be there with you to ensure that in the moments where unexpected events in life happen and you are unable, let's say, to repay that loan for one reason, probably you have been retrenched or probably you have been disabled permanently and you are unable, and you realize that if you are not able to repay that loan, and then maybe your income generating activity has been interfered with as well, then you realize those are what we call unexpected expenses that now befall you. But good news is that now Zamara has partnered with Corner Circle to ensure that you do not suffer financial loss in case of that. We are here to provide financial protection to you. We are also here to ensure that we provide mortgage protection so that in case there is a death, unfortunate event of death of a member, and the dependents are left, probably the member took a mortgage, and now probably the member was the sole breadwinner servicing the loan, and now the dependents who have been bereaved, they cannot be able to repay the loan. We have good news that now Zamara has partnered with Corner Circle, to ensure that we provide financial protection. And now we will step in to ensure that we are able to service the outstanding loan balance, and your dependents will be able to enjoy the house or the whatever you use, the mortgage facility you use to purchase. They will be able to enjoy in full without any interference. We're also here to ensure that in case you've taken a loan, we are able to guarantee you business continuity, and also we are able to ensure that some of the benefits from the life insurance can be utilized to provide or cater for the educational needs of your children, even in your absence. And of course, income continuity, which is a very important aspect in financial space. We have legal requirement, and of course, with all this in place, now that you are aware that your financial reserves are not going to be touched because you have life insurance in place, which has been negotiated for by Kona Sacco in partnership with Zamara, this will ideally provide what we call the peace of mind. I will now move you to the current benefits that you enjoy, whether you are under the credit life, whether it's the mortgage or the fire policy. I've done a summary here in a table. I just want to create awareness so that you are aware of what you are entitled to, what you can claim in case of a claim. We begin with what we call the credit life. Under credit life, I want to emphasize that you have been covered for death as a result of all causes, whether it's illness, whether it's just a natural event, or even an accident. You have been covered up to the full outstanding loan balance. In case of a permanent and total disability, again, it could be as a result of an accident, it could be as a result of an illness, or it could be as a natural event. You have been covered again up to the full outstanding loan balance. So this guarantees you or gives you comfort that in case of any of this death or permanent total disability, the full loan is going to be repaid by the SACCO, by Zamara in partnership with the SACCO, so that your reserves will not be touched or your dependents will not be bothered to repay the loan. We have also enhanced this cover for you in partnership with the SACCO. We have included what we call the critical illness benefit. We understand we are living in an era where we have witnessed a surge in critical illnesses, and the SACCO felt it's very important to also protect the members against the financial loss they suffer while they are, while they are undergoing such illnesses. They're having such illnesses. We understand or we appreciate the financial toll on this, and therefore we have extended a cover of 30% of the outstanding loan balance up to a maximum of 2.5 million shillings. As Judy had mentioned earlier, this cover has also been enhanced to ensure that in an unfortunate event of death of the main member, we have a rider benefit that will be paid to your dependents of 150,000 shillings. This has been enhanced so that it can be able to, cater for the costs that are related to the final send-off. And lastly, to mention, we have also put a generous limit, what we call the free cover limit of 25 million shillings. The free cover limit basically is a limit where we say if the loan that you are taking or the loan balance is above this particular limit, you will be required to undergo what we call medical underwriting. We will look at it in the next slide in detail. And then just to mention that this cover, we have an underwriter, we have the best underwriter, one of the strongest in the industries, called Prudential Life. We now move to what we call the mortgage and fire policy. This has almost a similar structure. We have cover for death, all causes as well. Here, in case of unfortunate event of death, we are covering outstanding loan balance in full. In case of a permanent total disability of the member, the borrower, we are also paying an outstanding loan balance in full. In case of a member being diagnosed with a critical illness, we are paying up to 30% of the outstanding loan balance, capped at a maximum of 2 million shillings. For the last expense for the members are entitled to, in unfortunate event of death, a maximum amount of 100,000 will be paid to your dependents or the next of kin to support them at that difficult moment as they, cater for the final send-off. We have also enhanced this benefit now to reflect the market requirement, the market trend, where we have seen a surge in the need of this benefit here. We have incorporated a retrenchment benefit, and we are paying installments of 9 months up to a maximum of 2 million. 9 months has quite been enhanced. This is one of, I've seen, it's the longest period of repayment that insurance companies guaranteeing. And this is meant to provide you soft landing or a transition process as you are able to move or transition from, the current employer as you look for another. The SACCO has ensured that you will not be bothered with paying the loan because those are situations that are beyond our control, and therefore the insurance will step in to settle the loan, the installments for up to 9 months. We also have what we call fire domestic package. In case you have taken a loan to invest in your property and something happens to that property, what will you gain, or how will you going to suffer? Now, the SACCO has ensured that you will not be bothered with the losses that could accrue as a result of such damages that could be related to your property. And that's why we have what we call the fire domestic package, equivalent to the value of the house as per the valuation report. And then for this particular scheme, we have a free cover limit of 20 million. And the underwriters for this particular cover are competent underwriters in partnership with Liberty and Madison. Maybe you'll allow me to touch or to delve deep on critical illness, because someone will be asking, what is ideally critical illness? In as much as we do not trivialize any illness, but within the insurance practice, we have what we have agreed upon as number of illnesses that have been agreed upon to be critical. And of course, it's important to mention that the critical illness benefit is payable on a first-time diagnosis and usually paid as a lump sum upon full documentation. The following are some of the illnesses, or the following is the list of illnesses that has been agreed upon within the insurance space to be critical. 1, we have cancer, stroke, heart attack, renal failure, aorta or coronary artery surgery, replacement of heart valve, major organ transplant, paraplegia, and blindness. So those are the illnesses that we cover under critical illness. So it is important I mention that so that in case of this can be diagnosed, you've been diagnosed of any of this, kindly feel free to reach out and you'll be guided. You reach out to Corner Circle, I'll guide you on the process. Then you'll be guided on what you are required so that you are able to pay the claim. Over and above the benefits that I have mentioned, Zamara has partnered with Corner Circle to extend what we call the mental wellness support program. We have established an in-house counseling service. This is only applicable to the members of Corner Circle. So as long as you are a member of Corner Circle and you are covered with Zamara, these are toll-free helpline contacts that you can always reach out to. We provide financial stress counseling, family issues. It could be drug addiction. It could be grief and counseling, or even life skills. You can always reach out and we will be supported. I wish to guarantee you it's a safe zone, and you will have the confidence that your information, whatever or whoever you'll be engaging with, it will be a controlled environment, a very safe zone. With that, we've been able to look at the benefits, and now you'll allow me to look at what we call the medical underwriting and who is eligible. Now, I had mentioned earlier about the free cover limit, and this is where now the free cover limit is applicable. If the loan you are taking is above what we have set as the free cover limit, then you will be required to undergo medical underwriting. You will be issued with a letter describing the kind of test that you will undertake, and then we will guide you on where to go. We have a panel that you are able to go. You are able to visit at your convenience. When you visit that particular panel, that particular facility, it is important to note that you will not be charged of anything. You are not going to pay for anything for you to do the medical underwriting. We have partnered with Corner Circle to ensure that this is a cost-free benefit, so we don't inflate the probably any cost. We don't make it expensive for you to take a loan from Corner Circle. It is free of charge. And once you do the medical tests, we are living in an era where there is the need or awareness on data privacy, and we understand medical information is part of sensitive data. I wish to give you that comfort that your information is held in confidence, and accessibility is also it's also restricted. In fact, only the medical underwriters are able to have visibility of your medical reports. And once the acceptance terms are issued, we will be able to communicate to you directly in confidence. In as much as you are not going to pay for the medical examination, you are also free to access a copy of the medical report if you require. And this medical examination, once you do it, it is valid for a period of 3 years. So you'll not be required to be undergoing medical examination every year. And maybe to just clarify, you are not being sent for medical examination because you have a medical issue. Basically, it's just a formal process. We have set that limit, what we call the free cover limit, to act like a sampling criteria, so that again, we are not sending everyone for medicals, but we're just saying if the risk that we are going to take is above this particular limit, kindly allow us to do some extra due diligence or extra underwriting just to understand the risk. And of course, we will accept the risk. This does not mean we will reject the cover. We will not reject it. we will accept the risk. Just to clarify again, if one again may not be willing to undergo medicals, we've had such scenarios. Please note, undergoing medicals is you are not forced to go for medicals. It is a voluntary process where you have to give consent for the process to be undertaken. So you have liberty to say, yes, you will undergo medicals. You also have liberty to say you will not be able to undergo the medicals. I will now move to the slide on eligibility. I have put eligibility based on benefit, death, permanent total disability, and critical illness. And we are saying that members are eligible. The entry ages are from 18 years, as long as you turn 18 years, up to 69 years. But as long as you are a member who is 69 years in the SACCO, CONASACCO has made an initiative to negotiate for extended coverage up to 80 years. This also applies to permanent and total disability. For critical illness, we have an entry age of from 18 years up to 60 years where cover ceases. Now I will take you through the claims process. Here we'll want to understand what is the claims procedure, what are the documents relevant, and are there any exclusions applicable so that you are on the know. This is the claims procedure. In case of any incidents that you feel will lead to a claim, you are advised to get in touch with CONASACCO immediately. And then CONASACCO will report the incident to Zamara team, who will in turn guide on the required documents depending on the type of claim. It could be a death claim, it could be a permanent total disability claim, it could be a retrenchment claim, it could be a fire policy claim. So depending on the type of claim, we will be able to guide on the necessary documentation. But here I've tried to do a summary of the documentation that would be required. And I feel it's important I go through this so that you are on the know. For the last expense benefit, these are the documents that will be required for us to settle a last expense claim of the member. We will require the notification. We will require a copy of the ID or the passport. We will require a stamped copy of the burial permit and the bank details. That alone will suffice the documentation requirement and the claim will be settled. Number two, we have what we call disability or critical illness claims. Here, the documentation is same. You'll be required to fill a claim form. Then you will share a copy of your ID or a passport. Then we will be able to get the loan amortization schedule from the SACCO. You'll also share the medical reports. And in case the disability is a result of an accident, we will require a police abstract. Once all these have been provided, we will now issue with a discharge voucher, a form basically for you to just fill and agree to the amount that you're going to be paid so that you're able to discharge liability from us. And then we have a death claim. Here we require the claim form, the copy of the death certificate, copy of the ID, or surrender of ID or passport, loan amortization schedule from the SACCO. In case death was a result of an accident, we shall require a police abstract. Once we are in possession of all this, we will issue the claimant with a discharge voucher where they will be able to fill, and we will settle the loan. In case it's a retrenchment claim, please note we shall require the claim form, the copy of the ID or the passport, loan amortization schedule, employment contract, the payslip, the notice to the labor office, and the letter of retrenchment, and the certificate of service. With this, we will be able to repay, or ideally to step in to settle the monthly installments up to 9 months. Then lastly, in claim documentation for the fire policy, we shall require the claim form, the fire brigade or police report, inventory of the damaged property, purchase invoices, stock records or valuation reports, photographic evidence, and bank details, of course, for us to settle the claim. And as I mentioned earlier, in case of any incidents that you feel could lead to a claim, you are advised to ensure that you notify us immediately so that the claim process can be initiated immediately. We have up to 6 months of notification period for you to notify of a claim, but we feel it will be unfair if you have been retrenched for you to wait for 6 months for you to report the claim. It will be unfair to you because now you'll be forced to repay the loan, and yet you are entitled, you are supposed to be compensated by the insurer for such. And then now we move to general exclusions. This is just a list of, we have tried to condense it so that we are able to create awareness, things that if you're engaged in, then insurance cover considers them to be excluded from cover. One, we have what we say is any condition existing before the member's entry date. So if you have any pre-existing condition that could relate to critical illness, probably you are diagnosed with a critical illness before you took a loan or before you joined CONASACCO, you are not able to claim from it from the current policy. It should be a condition that happens within the current cover period. Engagement in any hazardous sporting activities like rock climbing, scuba diving, hang gliding, they are also excluded. But we understand in the corporate space, we have moments where employers organize team building initiatives for the staff. So if you're a member of CONASACCO and you are going to engage in such team building activities, please note you are not excluded, but you are advised to, communicate to CONASACCO so that we are aware of such activities. If you are doing it as an individual activity, that is excluded. Well, any drug abuse, excluding drugs prescribed by a medical practitioner, are also excluded. Deliberate self-injury is also excluded. Voluntary participation in an assault, felony, criminal activity, insurrection, or a riot, it's also excluded. But someone may ask me, if I was just walking home and there was a police confrontation with people who are rioting and then a stray bullet hit me, and it leads to a disability, am I entitled to compensation from the insurer? The answer is yes. That is what we call involuntary participation or passive participation. that is covered. Aviation, other than a passenger in a commercial licensed passenger aircraft or air travel by any charter duly licensed as a recognized air carrier. And then lastly, any engagement in criminal activities as defined in the Kenyan Constitution, they are also excluded. With that, I have come to the end of my presentation, and I will now wish to receive any, in case of any question, we are here to answer and provide clarity.
Thank you so much, Ronald. That was a very informative session. I'm sure most of us have now gained a deep understanding on how Credit Life works, how it's important to our members, to Corner Circle, and how you come in as Zamara to support us. So at this time, we can go through some of the questions that have been shared in the chat section from some of our members so that we can answer them. So the first question there is, do you provide life insurance to family members like parents and siblings? A question from Peterson.
Peterson, that's a good
Ronald?
question. Yes, thank you. That's a good question. Peterson, I would just wish to clarify that currently the partnership we have with Corner Circle, we have provided cover for you alone. Of course, that could lead to, if again, because of the contract and the premiums that have been paid, can only guarantee the cover for yourself.
Thank you, Ronald. There's another question from Gladys. Does being a member of Corner Circle automatically qualify me for the above benefits? Ronald?
The answer is yes. These benefits have been tailor-made for the members of Corner Circle. As long as you're a member of Corner Circle or you're taking a loan from Corner Circle, these are benefits that have been tailor-made for you. And again, they have been well negotiated with very competitive rates.
Thank you for that. There is another one from Ninette. When does it take effect? Should we sign up? When does this credit cover take effect? Our members are supposed to sign up.
Well, we have Credit Life and we have mortgage. These covers, they both take effect the moment you take a loan facility, because you will have to have what we call an insurance policy in place that guarantees it will be able to replace, or let's say repay the loan in your absence. So at any moment you take a loan facility from Corner Circle, the cover will you will be guided on how the cover will start.
Thank you. There's another question from Ninette again. Please advise for each of the claims. Are we insuring separately or are we doing a holistic cover that will cover for all the 4 areas?
These are insured holistically. They are not being underwritten separately. Let's say whether it's death or PT, permanent total disability or critical illness, they are insured as a package. Ruth, have I answered that?
Yes. Someone has a request that kindly pardon on the medical underwriting.
That's fine. I'm willing to do that. Medical underwriting basically is a process where we just want to do what we call an extra assessment of the lives or the risks that are attached to individuals who have taken loans that are above a certain amount. For example, we mentioned we have a free cover limit of 20 million. So we are saying if you take a loan that is more than 20 million, then you will be required to undergo medical examination. Medical examination, we are going to look at quite a number of issues depending on the amount that is above the free cover limit. You could be just required to go and fill what we call the medical examination questionnaire, where a doctor is going to ask you questions as they fill and then sign and submit. In some cases, you could be required to provide information on your family history, on your hobbies and lifestyle, on your current health status. It could be maybe required to provide information on maybe you'll be advised to do what we call ECG test and what have you. As I mentioned earlier, if you will be required to undergo medical examination, it's not a cause of alarm, and by no means are you going to be denied to access a loan. But what we are just doing is to just understand we consider high risks that we are going to underwrite, so that in case of a claim, we are able to pay the claim in full. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald. There's another question. So for those with existing loans, do we need to do anything? There's also another one. Is it to say that you're only insured when you have a loan? Ronald, I think you can combine those two questions.
If there is an existing loan, you're not required to do anything. I'm sure you must have been guided in case there is a need for you to provide medical information. And again, I mentioned once you do the medical examination, your medical report will be valid for 3 years. So you'll not be required to be doing medical examination every year. On this one who has asked, you are only insured when you have a loan. With the current cover, the contract we have with CONASACO, as you can see from the benefit outline, we are paying outstanding loans in case the member is dead or disabled, permanently disabled, or has been diagnosed with a critical illness. So we are saying we are paying this, or this cover is only applicable to those who have loans. But again, yeah, for members who have loans. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you, Ronald. I can see we've answered all the questions.
Thank you.
Ronald, allow me to add.
Yes, Judy.
All right, so members who don't have loans also have the rider benefit, the 150,000 rider benefit. So if in an event of loss, the member is eligible for 150,000, whether or not they had a loan. So there's also the benefit of the rider, whether or not you had a loan. So long as you're a member, you've been contributing, your next of kin will be given 150,000, just to clarify that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judith, for that clarification. I can see we've tackled all the questions that have come from our members. So mine at this time is to thank you so much for joining this call. Ronald, thank you so much. This was a very informative session. It's very important to understand, in case of unforeseen circumstances, what happens. How do we get support? How are our family members supported in terms of if someone had a loan balance or someone has a loan balance and something has happened? So that is very important also for us to understand, because I know sometimes you see the credit cover debit, and maybe you do not understand what exactly happens, why that fee is there. So I think today's session, as I clarified, has answered most of our questions. And thank you so much for joining this call once again. And as I said before we started, we really appreciate your membership. We appreciate you joining CONASACO. We do this on a monthly basis. So once you get that link, that request to register, please do that. Let's keep understanding our products, our processes, and feel free always to give us feedback and so that we can serve you better. We're here to support you, improve the experience of all our members, and at the end of the day, we all benefit. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ronald. Have yourself a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Hii namwambia reverse hiyo 19,000. Unaona sasa ndio ananitumia. Sasa ndio amenitumia. Sasa ndio imekuja. You can see. Can you hear? No. Nilikuwa nimeka logo so this is not
Leave it. There's a time I'm a government officer in charge of property. There's a time no check could be given without the signing of the government officer. You could be surprised. That happened.
Banks give interest rates 18%, 20%. If it's a facility of 4 or 5 years, at the end of the day, the difference is very big depending on the amount taken originally.
The other thing I can also tell folks it was taking a long time for approval process. You fill and then you are told we shall come or contact you, and then we call you to confirm whether it was either your loan has gone through and it was fully signed. I remember approaching one of the senior persons from finance department, asking them, why can't we start something like a SACCO? Because where I was working before I joined them, we had a SACCO there. So the management were happy about it.
It started with 10 members, 10 dreamers who came together, and they came up with the idea that they can form a SACCO. And then they were able to bring this idea to 220 members who formed the initial initial membership of the SACCO.
When I joined, there was a lot of, paperwork. Sometimes you have to do a lot of physical work to the SACCO to just find out where is the status of my loan. And there was, quote unquote, it wasn't so much digital compared to today.
The initial products that we used to do manually, even issuing or giving out of dividends and rebates.
When I joined PLC, nilishikwa mkono na my mentor. Explained to me certain things that were beneficial. And one of them, he spoke about the SACCO. It was kind enough, actually, kuniletea forms by me. People realize through empirical evidence, which empirical in terms of I am your friend, you have seen a plot, I bought a plot. The moment you come and then you realize, oh, you can buy a plot. Where did you get the money? From our SACCO. Many people start now talking about the good news about the SACCO. And since then, a big number start now enrolling to our SACCO.
Then we